Dice Tower Tonight, episode 22.
We're back from Dice Tower Con.
Welcome to Dice Tower Tonight, a video cast about board games and card games, and especially the people who play them. Tonight's show follows the first time the three of us have played games face to face. We'll chat about those. Crystal and I will go head to head in one of Tom's devious games, and then we'll take your questions live. I'm Eric Summerer, and joining me now, the Coach Z and Marzipan to my bubs, Tom and Crystal.
Yay, Homestar Runner references.
Seriously, I feel like the third wheel on this show all the time now.
I will totally be Marzipan.
Sure.
Marzipan. I'm pretending to be a skeleton. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, we were saying, Tom, we didn't get the memo that the onesies were happening tonight.
And I said I haven't worn it yet, so that's just tough. I didn't get the memo at the painting competition, so I feel like we're even now.
Sure.
I don't have a onesie yet, so I think I need to acquire a onesie, although maybe not this time of year in Vegas, because it's real hot.
Oh, it's so hot in Vegas? What? Oh, it must be the hottest state around.
I mean,
so anyhow.
Kinda, yeah.
All right, so we just got back from Dice Tower Con. I went to my gaming group last night, and there was so many sad people there. They were just like, oh, we want to go back for another week. I said, well, you guys didn't run it. I was good.
It does seem like almost universal praise. Everything I've read has been very positive. People saying it's the best convention they ever went to. It's been really good.
I think it's cute that you think there's such a thing as universal praise. But yes, for the most part, there's some things that can be fixed for next year. And there's some things that, people just don't like that will be the way they are. But for the most part, yeah. I read a really nice blog today called A Mother and Daughter Walk into Dice Tower Con.
Yes, I read that as well. Very cool.
Yeah, that was a really great blog, and so I really appreciate that. Hey, folks, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Crystal Pisano.
And I'm Eric Summerer. I said that already.
Well, yeah, but you did the intro thing, so we always talk afterwards like that. So anyhow, folks, we are back from Dice Tower Con, so we'll give some thoughts on that real briefly. Then we'll talk about some games that we played there. And then Eric already said everything else we're going to do. So overall, for me, this was the best convention I've been to other than the cruises.
I would echo those sentiments. I think that this is my favorite, and I should be biased since I help run a convention here in Las Vegas, and I loved that one to death. But this Dice Tower Con was just something epic and wonderful.
There was a lot of joy in that gathering of people. It really felt like family and new family and friends, and it just, there were things that happened early in the week that I suddenly remembered. Oh my goodness, that happened too. It just seemed like wonderful moment after great game, after fun show, after audience reaction, after it, just a whole basket of fun. It was a blast. It was hard to leave.
So in case you missed it, at the convention, we announced that Crystal and Ambi will be doing more video stuff for us. Obviously, Crystal's already started that by helping out Dice Tower Tonight. If you haven't caught this, she's now a permanent host. So, and she has her own dice guy now, which we'll be adding to the thumbnail at some point.
It's basically the cutest thing ever. And so many people came up to me during the convention and they were like, "You're dice doggos." So that was fun.
You're going to have one that rivals your cuteness slightly coming up.
Oh, okay.
So I've seen the next 3. We have 9 more to finish.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I really like these dice guys a lot. So from the Dice Tower perspective, our live shows that we did there, first of all, we had the best technical support sound Derek does a great job, but he's by himself. This time he had a crew to back him up. And usually the crews they give us at conventions are ornery and not fun to work with. And I thought they did the best job. They built that cool background for us. It was just phenomenal, I thought.
Top notch all around. They were very conscientious. There was one point when one of Mandy's microphones went out, and they very quickly realized that and came up with a replacement. They were together. They knew what we needed. They asked every show what we needed and how they could help. It was amazing to have such a conscientious crew helping us throughout the entire week. And
also, the audiences were the biggest and best. Other than our Gen Con audience, these were huge audiences for, we were just surprised how many people came out for pretty much everything we did. And kind of on. It was a good time, and I give credit to all the contributors. Our award show feels like an actual award show, and we had some really cool trophies. It was just, for me, that was a good chunk of my week. But I also had a chance to play a lot of games. I tried to play games with as many different people as I possibly could, and if I played games with you, you were fun to play with. I didn't play with one person who I thought was not fun, except maybe me and Eric.
Every opportunity. If there's any opportunity to get the little dig in, it comes.
Well, Eric, it just depends who's on the thing. So, like, if you and Z were on the show, I probably wouldn't dig at you.
Oh, okay.
That's a lie. I would still.
There's a hierarchy to the ribbing.
So I'm the curmudgeon in this panel, but I might not be if it was, like the whole the podcast group.
So we played 4 games together. Would you guys? I'll let you guys pick. Would you like to go from worst to best or best to worst?
Let's go worst to best.
Sure.
And I think, even though we disagree a lot, all 3 of us agree on the ranking of these 4 games. It wasn't that hard, actually.
I
Pretty
believe
close.
that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the best. We said worst, right? Zoomaka.
Worst.
Zoommaker.
Yeah, there you go. You know what, Eric? I don't even care anymore. This game was so disappointing.
It really, and it looks quite nice. Aesthetically, it is pleasing, but there is something lacking within that box.
Yeah. I like the colors.
Yeah, but it's just a big pile of luck. You are drawing and trying to get groups of animals that you're going to put in front of you. And so this animal here, you need 3 of this kind of animal. Then you make a group of that animal. And then you're also selling animals and cards to get money, which you only need if someone else gets a group and charges you money and forces you to go to their zoo, because that's what happens in real life. I'm running my zoo, and I got a call from San Diego. They're like, come see our zoo and pay us a lot of money. And if you don't have enough money to do that, shut down part of your zoo.
We're taking your animals.
Very thematic.
Very thematic.
So you have to build up this big pile of money, which is cards, to fight them off. And then there's things that say, get rid of someone else's pile of money. It's really dumb.
Yeah, there was one thing that says get rid of everyone's pile of money.
Oh. Yeah, I always love when a game has a card that's like, negate the rest of the game.
Yeah.
For example, some games, this always irritates me. You're like building a hand of cards, and then there'll be a thing that says, everyone pass their cards to the person on your left. Then why was I just doing everything I did?
Yep. Well, I think I recognized about halfway through this that there are a lot of similarities between this game and Monopoly Deal, as far as the storing of cards as money and the charging people rent and the set collection. But Monopoly Deal, 1, at least has the theme of Monopoly, and 2 is far smoother than this. Even though it is like a take that card game, it was better than this one.
Well, Ambi is here on chat, and Ambi, if you want to come on live, just let us know. But she said, doesn't art make a good game? That is not what I said at Dice Tower Con when I argued with her about how ugly her games were. I said good art elevates a game, but good art does not a game make. However, I think when we give an award for best art, you can give it regardless of whether the game was good or not. But Zoomaka is basically just
Zoomaka.
Anyway.
Well, and you could give an award to a game for good art where the game isn't good, but if a game isn't good, it's not going to get noticed or played by enough people probably to ever win an award. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Dr. Whale. Okay, it's just called Timberman.
Yes. This is the one that we thought was going to be the worst.
Actually, okay, before we go any farther, what would you guys rate Zoomaka out of 10?
3 to 4.
I was going to say 3, solidly.
Cool. I'll say 2. But that's because I'm the meanest. So this game comes with a bunch of tiles. And on your turn, you have some tiles in your hand. I think, was it just 2, right? 2 tiles. And you would place these tiles. Oh, 3? That's right, 3. You'll place one of the tiles from your hand next to other tiles, except the spider web doesn't go. It goes on top of another tile. Many of the tiles are trees. That's how many points they're worth at the end of the game. And you also have some lumberjacks, which look very much like they're from different movies and things. In fact, there was a couple of them, but we were like, I don't know that I would have put that in the game. But anyhow.
Yeah.
If you put this next to this, Oh, that's a rock. Never
That's
mind.
a rock.
Worthless thing. It's a bear that chases your guys away. That's a lake. Okay, I'm not doing so well. If I have the most lumberjacks next to this at the end of the game, I'm going to get 3 points. There's little coins in here to give those points to you. If there's a tie, no one gets anything. And there's also, in a quote-unquote an advanced expansion, things you can put next to these to double them. But that's basically how the game works. I won the game that we played because I waited to the end to put my lumberjacks out so they couldn't stop me, because there were too many ways to just stop other people's lumberjacks or just make them go into oblivion.
Yeah.
For the record, you and I tied for the win, and there was no tiebreaker.
No, I won. You're just remembering wrong. No.
I wasn't remembering, so I had to pull up my app and check and make sure.
My memory proof and documentation.
My memory is better than your app. Doesn't matter. This is a really light tile laying game, and I like the idea of it in theory. Placing things out and scoring area majority. But a lot of the tiles that we drew, like rocks and lakes, were just blocking tiles. They're boring. There's the bears, which make things go back. There's a strong take that element to the game. And it didn't really feel satisfying to me.
I
didn't hate it, but it wasn't good.
It was just very, very bland. There's absolutely nothing special about it. Mechanically, it was fairly solid, albeit simple. But yeah, there's just nothing in it that makes you go, "Ooh, this is fun." It's just, okay, we played some tiles and we got a score and now we're done.
Yeah, it just didn't have a good arc. It wasn't engaging in any strong way. It felt flat. Yeah, not a fan. Although what's weird is that the designer's name, unless Timberman is also that large text, is that large text somebody's name, or is that large text another way to say Timberman?
I'm gonna go with yes.
And this is based
his name
on
is down here. Michael Staloweski and Powell Katajowski.
And I looked it up, and this is based on a very popular mobile app of some kind, but I do not know what the mobile app is about. So.
I also hate the 8-bit artwork, but what are your guys' ratings?
I would go 4.5.
I'll go with a solid 4.
Oh, I'd give it a 5. I didn't hate it as much as you guys, but then again, not like there's a big difference between 4 and 5. All right. Orc Olympics, which if we're going to give it a rating on a name, I'd probably say it like a 2. I hate that name. So in Orc Olympics, which is a game that I'm going to argue you probably should play twice. And just because the first time you're like, what am I doing?
Here's how I messed up.
So in the very first part of the game, you are simply going to be drafting people from different races. So they have different backgrounds, and that's not Legos, I promise. And you're going to be drafting, going around. Everyone's going to draft a bunch of cards, but then you can only keep 3 races. So you might end up with 4 different races, and you'll have to just discard the ones that you're not going to keep. So some of the races are definitely better than others. Like this genie is really awesome. He's not very good at the flying skill, but whatever the eyeball skill is, he's really good at, and he's decent at strength. But there's fewer of him in the deck, while there is a ton of humans in the deck, and they're just 1 skill at everything. So you go around and do this drafting, and then you'll have like a contest. Maybe this is a contest. So strength. So everyone's going to go around and play cards from their hand. Like I'll play a card with a 3 strength, and Eric will play one with a 4 strength, and we'll keep going around. Once you pass, you're out. I mean, your total is set, and the top person will get this card, which is worth 5 points, and the second highest will get a second place trophy for 2 points. And then anyone who did not win one of those trophies gets one of those cards that they played back. Otherwise, they're out until you don't win something. So even if you have a really strong orc, it's probably not that useful unless you lose a future thing to get it back. And then there's one big final contest at the end, which is worth more points, like this one here, 7 points. And that's pretty much how you play. Obviously, the drafting in the game is very important because you want to kind of draft cards that will help you in, because you can see which contests are going to be happening over the course of the game. So you want to draft people with that. But you also want to make sure you draft 3 races so you can use all your cards. You can't win everything in the game, so you have to decide what's best to win. but it's pretty fast game. I'd say maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe. Depends how long the drafting takes.
Yeah. I found this really interesting. I think the drafting is pretty straightforward, but you can easily get stuck. If you lock yourself into 3 different races early, you may end up getting past cards that you then can't use and then have to ditch. The resource management in the bidding phase is really fascinating, because if you overbid, if you work too hard at one of those early contests, you may not get all those cards back before you need them again. You really need to pick and choose your battles and say, well, I'm just going to sit this one out and get some cards back, or I'm really going to push for this one because I know if I win that, I should be able to recharge enough for this other one. No, do you go for the second to last one, knowing that everyone's going to be fighting for the final contest because it's worth almost as many points? It's neat. There are a lot of tricky decisions in here.
Yeah, definitely figuring out not only like which cards to play, but which cards are good now and won't help you later was important. Yeah, like, okay, it's strength right now, then it's the eyeball one. So if I play this strength card that also has the eyeball stat on it right now, then I'm potentially hindering myself. Wait, this other card has strength but no eyeball. So I can play it right now and it won't necessarily hurt me in the next contest if I want to try and compete there. There were some interesting decisions to be made in the order that you played your cards, not just the strength level listed on them.
Also a timing aspect in the bidding phase, because if you tie someone, you get the trophy. You break the tie if you are the last to play at that level. So sometimes it's better to hold back and play some bigger cards later on because you're going to win the tie.
So overall, I liked it too. I think it's not like a game that I want to play all the time. It's going to be the same note each time, but it's a nice filler for me. What would you guys rate it?
I would give this one a 7.
I'd also go with a 7. I considered an 8, but it's not really my style of game, but I really did appreciate it. So 7 for me.
And 7 for me. Hey, we're in sync. And now the one that looks a lot like Port Royale, Santo Domingo. Now in this game, everyone is going to be playing off a board. Now this board is in the middle of the table, and this board is going to keep track of victory points, of goods, and of a trading scale. Basically, you're going to be able to trade goods in for victory points. And at the beginning of each round, all these tracks are going to move over based on how many players are playing the game. After the tracks move over, each player is going to be playing one of several cards from their hand. These cards are numbered from 1 to 8. And so, for example, if you play a captain, you're going to get one of those victory points from the top track up to a maximum of 2. And you do that first. So if there's only 4 victory points and 3 of us play these cards, we're only going to get 1 each. But if only 2 people or less play them, then we'll get 2 each. Then there's the Admiral, who will get victory points the same way, and they can get a maximum of 5. The problem is, if you play the Admiral, you go after the people who play the Captain. Then we have the Governor, and the Governor is just going to get a whole bunch of goods based on how many people played Admirals and Captains. After that, we have the Frigate, and you're going to get goods from the goods bar at the top, up to a maximum of 3. After you, the Galleon, you get goods from the top, and you get all of them. Again, splitting them between the people who played Galleons after the people who have Frigates go. And if you play Customs, you get victory points based on how many people played Frigates and Galleons. Finally, if you play the Trader, you will be able to trade in your goods for victory points based on where this is on the track. If there's multiple people playing the Trader, it's going to drop down some. And after anyone plays a Trader, this always resets to 0 for the next round. The farther it is on this track, the better the ratio you are of points per goods. And then if you play the Beggar, you get some goods based on how many cards are left in your hand, and you get to pick up all your cards and play them again. So the game is basically about outthinking your opponents. There might be a lot of goods out there. There might be a lot of victory points. And you're like, well, there's a lot of victory points, so I'll play a card that gives me some. But wait, Eric's going to think that too, so I'm going to play a card that gives me points if gives me goods if he picks the victory point. But wait, he knows that, and that's the way the game goes. What'd y'all think?
I loved this one. And it's theme-wise, it's so bland, and I just That's why I think I wasn't as interested in it when we were debating it 2 weeks ago, just because I like more interesting themes in my games. But mechanically, this game is super solid. And I love games where you have to predict what the other players are going to do, because I tend to be pretty decent at that. So it's really fun to play that, whatever that third card is, when everybody else is playing the first 2 cards, and then you just get all of the things. And it's
what she's trying to say is she whooped us.
I did not. I technically didn't win. I lost by 1 point in the end, but I was kicking butt most of the game.
You and who was it? Pete Shirey, who was the other player?
Yeah.
I was last by a mile. I just cannot read other people.
But it's those moments that Crystal's talking about when you successfully realize that everybody else is going to be going for one of those resource piles, and you pick the card that pays you for everyone who plays those cards. But then you get the same moment, or the flip side of it, when you think that there's a big pile of, say, goods, and you play the card that will pay you for every card that takes goods, except everyone else played that same card. So no one gets any points because no one chose the ships that would be taking the goods. And those moments are also a blast. And because this plays so quickly, it's full of those moments. Every 2 minutes, you are making another one of these decisions, probably faster than that. This whole game was done in about 20 minutes. But it was full of a dozen or more of these moments where you're making a quick decision, looking at the resource selections, what's best for my strategy, or I really wish I could take this action, but I didn't reset my cards last turn. So now I'm stuck and I have to, wrestle with the situation that I've got in my hand. A lot of the same decisions that you'd find in like Concordia with the deck of actions, but significantly quicker. This was really a solid game.
I think this is a fantastic game. What I like about it is it takes that whole card selection, something I love, that bigger games have. It condenses it down to a really cool little, again, I'm calling this a filler, but it felt like a better game than that, and it moves so fast. Mm-hmm. It was move, 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 move. The board also has 2 sides. The other side has like crazy victory point transfer conditions where you need like 15 goods for victory points. But that kind of gives it just a little bit of a change. And the game's also going to vary on number of players playing. When we played with 5, I think.
Yeah, we had 5.
Which felt like a great sweet spot for the game. Because obviously the more players in the game, the more some of the cards are going to be worth. The ones that give you points when other people pick something.
Right.
But I am with you guys. I really love this game. I'm not totally enamored by the cover. It looks, and the theme, whatever. It's the same as all their other themes. But this is a gem that I think a lot of people are going to miss. What would you guys rate it?
I'd go 8.5 on this one.
I was going to say 8.5 as well, because I feel like 9 is just, for a game, while it's really solid for a game this small, it's hard for me to give it a 9, but 8 feels like too little. So
I say balderdash to that. It's a 9 for me. A game can be big or small and get an awesome thing. This could be a 10 if you wanted it to be. Who cares about the size? Shamefulness. You're a sizist.
I am. To the person in the chat who said my shirt is epic, it's not a shirt, it's a dress, and it is epic. I wore it at Dice Tower Con, and I got a lot of comments on it, so I had to bring it back.
Seriously, I was walking down the hall, and I'm like hearing people, I love your dress, I love your dress, I love your dress. I'm like, all right, we get it.
Trust me, I had to hear it even more than that. And every compliment is very nice. But yeah, by the end of the day, when people are like, where did you get it? Where did you get it? Where did you get it? I was like, okay, I'm a little tired.
you probably should answer that question now then.
So I got it custom made on a website called cowcow.com. So it is not available for, yes, like the animal cow. And my friend helped me with the graphic design, and then they literally print whatever design you want onto a dress or a skirt or a shirt or leggings or shoes. Like you can do anything on anything, and it's pretty much the best. It's not cheap, but based on the comments I received, it was worth it. And I had a Blitz dress too.
I'm getting a dress like that, that's for sure.
Dude, get some Dice Tower shoes.
That's one thing you haven't customized, Tom. You could get cool shoes and then just point the camera at your feet when you do game reviews.
Alrighty, so So we just gone over these. I'm going to do full reviews of these games, probably at least this one I'll do next week, and some of the other ones I'll do next week and the week after. But we just reviewed it. However, we're now going to play a game show, and the winner of the show will get I'll send this to them when I'm done reviewing it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
The stakes are real because it's a good game this time.
So I chose Santo Domingo. That was my selection. Ordinarily, I would get it. Okay, never mind. It's fine. We can have a toss-up. It's fine. It's fine.
No, Eric's going to start off with 5 points.
Oh.
Because he whined. All right. So we're going to be playing a slight variant of a game called You Betcha, which is very similar to, in theory, to a game from Playroom Entertainment, but doesn't matter. So basically, I'm going to give a category, and you guys are going to go back and forth bidding on how many answers you can give in that category.
Oh, no.
All right. If you bid the highest, then you must do that within a reasonable amount of time. And if you are correct, you will get points equal to the number that you said. If you are incorrect, then the other person will have a chance, and they just get a point for every one that they can say.
Well, if you do Marvel or DC characters again, I'm screwed. So
No, these are totally random. Kind of. I'm lying. All right,
Okay.
but
Random. Sure.
so we'll start with an easy category.
oh no.
Um,
Those are the ones that I'm the worst at.
for Eric.
Okay.
All right, so Eric, this is softball, so you shut up. All right, the first category is main characters of Saved by the Bell. There are 8 possible. Eric, you have the starting bid.
I can
And I'm
name.
going to insist on first and last names.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Unless they don't have a last name, in which case first name only is fine.
I can name 3 of them.
I can name 5 of them.
First and last name though.
That's I've gotten 5 so far, first and last, I think.
I think I'm lost on last name. I think I got to let you go for it, Crystal.
All right, go ahead, Crystal.
Okay, we've got Zach Morris, AC Slater, Kelly Kapowski, Jesse Spano, Samuel Powers, aka Screech, and that's 5.
That's it. The ones you missed were Lisa Turtle, Mr. Richard Belding, and then Max.
Who has no last name?
I didn't actually know he would have counted as a main character, so.
All right, well, that's 5 points, and the score is now tied. Zach Morris is trash. All right. Let's see here. This one's a hard one. And by the way, we're doing popular culture because that's what I feel like doing. All right. Celebrity winners of Dancing with the Stars. There's 24 of them. No, Eric, you can't call anyone from your family into the room to help you.
Does Crystal get first bid or do I get first bid?
Crystal won, so she gets first bid.
I'm gonna say 1, but I think that's a stretch.
Oh my goodness. No, go for it.
No, darn it. Okay. I have to think.
All you gotta do is get 1.
I know, but I don't know any Dancing with the Stars. I know people who've been on it, I think. Were any Star Trek people on Dancing with the Stars?
I'm not giving you any clues.
You know what? Actually, I feel like there definitely was at some point. I don't know. I really don't. I do not. I don't.
All right, Eric, go ahead. You might as well get some points here. Yes.
Apollo Ono.
Okay, that's 1 correct. Keep going.
Who were all the gymnasts that won? It's always the athletes that win that show.
That is not correct.
Yeah. Apollo Ono was 1. Jesse the Body Ventura.
No. Come on
okay.
now. All right, it was... I'm not going to... Well, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Oh, yes.
Amber Riley. Apollo Ono. Bindi Irwin. Or is it Bindy? I don't know. Is it Bindi?
Oh, that's Steve Irwin's daughter.
Brooke Burke. Donnie Driver. Donnie Osmond. Drew Lackey. Is it? Lackey? Emmett Smith.
Lachey.
Oh, Lachey. Sorry. All right. Helio Castroneves. I don't know how to pronounce that either. Hines Ward, J.R. Martinez, Jennifer Grey. That's Alfonso's my favorite winner, but Jennifer Grey is my second. Kelly Pickler, Kelly Monaco, Christy Yamaguchi, Laurie Hernandez, Melissa Rycroft, Merrill Davis, Nicole Scherzinger, Niall DeMarco, Rashad Jennings, Rumor Willis, and Sean Johnson.
Sean Johnson's who I was thinking of.
All right, let's have a bidding war now. Eric, this is you. Are you ready?
Okay.
Pixar films, 18. This was made before Incredibles 2. Just saying.
14.
Whoa!
I'm going to let you go ahead with that one, sir.
All right, here we go. 14.
Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. A Bug's Life, WALL-E, Monsters, Inc., Monsters University, The Incredibles. Yes.
You flew too close to the sun.
I did. Oh, come on. Ratatouille. No. No, I had it. And
don't look at the chat.
I'm not looking at the chat. Oh, this is so bad. I don't have any toys that are Pixar movies in my studio.
10 seconds.
And I'm thinking of my DVD collection, and it's not working. No, I'm out.
All right, Crystal, you can only name ones he did not name.
Okay, but I was looking at the chat, so that feels like cheating.
Disqualified. All right.
So hey, at least I owned up to it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Do I get points for honesty? Because he got points for whining.
I get an honesty point, and honesty point's not worth anything except in tiebreakers. All right. Eric, you missed Brave.
Yep.
Cars 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, Cars 1, 2, and 3.
Finding Dory and Finding Nemo, which would have got it for you.
Yep.
What about Up?
And Up, yeah.
Inside Out, one of the best ones ever. And then The Good Dinosaur, which is not really considered. And then WALL-E.
I said WALL-E.
Oh, you said WALL-E. Okay, never mind. Well, I mentioned all the ones you missed.
I was thinking what there was I knew there were other sequels, and I couldn't think of Cars for some reason. But yes, Cars 1, 2, and 3 would have done it.
Let's see here. No, that's boring. That's boring. Although it brings back... Does this bring back a memory of Origins to you, Eric?
Yes, it does.
This is one of our questions we asked one time at a Wits and Wagers game at Origins, and there happened to be a guy in the audience who knew every Billboard Top 100 song for like the last 30 years, and his team just cleaned up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Let's do this one. Best Picture Academy Award winners since 1980. There's 37 of them. Crystal, you get to start.
I get to bid first. I will. So
I'm looking at the comments.
Okay, here I'm turning off the comments. I will say 5 to start.
I'll go 6.
I'm going to name movies that were nominated and didn't win, inevitably.
Yep, inevitably.
I'll go 7.
Name those movies.
Darn it, I was really hoping you'd go in. Okay. Dear goodness. So, what year was this published?
Since 1980.
Up till when?
Till now, although I'm going to guess possibly the last winner is not on his list. I don't even remember what just won.
Okay. So since 1980, Best Picture winners. If I get anything wrong, am I done?
Just start naming them.
I'm afraid. Okay, Forrest Gump.
1.
The Matrix. No, not 99.
Look, I love them. I love the Matrix, but no, that's one.
At 99.
Wait, why are you talking about 99?
That's when the Matrix came out.
The Matrix wasn't even nominated, I don't think.
It definitely was nominated for some stuff. Okay, so
all right.
Whatever.
So that's one error. You can have 2 mistakes and then you're out.
Okay. And of course, literally every movie I've ever watched has left my head now. The Hurt Locker.
Okay, that's 2.
Okay. That was the same year as that. Annie Hall?
No, that's your second error. Okay. But I think Annie Hall was made before 1980, wasn't it?
I think
so. Was it? Oh, maybe.
1977.
Oh, that's why.
So she's still going, or
no? I'm done. That's 2 mistakes.
No. She has 2 mistakes she can make.
Oh, I get to keep going.
You only have 2 correct ones, though.
Yeah. Best Picture. Why can't I think of literally any movies that I've ever seen right this moment? La La Land.
No. La La Land did not win. It was a mistake.
Oh, that's right. That was the joke. That was the joke. I'm the worst. I literally am the worst. And I love movies.
12 Years a Slave. A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
I don't get to guess any?
Oh, never mind. That's right, Eric. Go ahead, but you can't guess those 2 now.
Use those 2 that I was... Okay, anyway.
You were not going to say those 2. Okay, that's 1.
Crash is 1. Dances with
Eric,
Wolves.
You go until you get one wrong. Dances with Wolves is 2.
Dances with Wolves. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Yes.
And those are the 3 that I remember. I said Crash.
Crash was horrible. It should not have won.
Well, I just know that it won.
I know.
Saving Private Ryan.
No, it should have won, but it didn't.
It didn't.
I think it lost to Shakespeare in Love.
Yes, so that was it.
Still mad about that. Okay. Amadeus, American Beauty, Argo, Birdman, Braveheart. Should have said Braveheart. Chariots of Fire, Chicago, Dance with Wolves, Driving Miss Daisy, Forrest Gump, Gandhi, Gladiator, $1 Million Baby, Moonlight, No Country for Old Men, Ordinary People, Out of Africa, Platoon, Rain Man, Schindler's List, Shakespeare in Love, Slumdog Millionaire, Spotlight, Terms of Endearment, The Artist, The Departed, The English Patient, The Hurt Locker, The King's Speech, The Last Emperor, The Silence of the Lambs, Titanic, and Unforgiven.
I've seen at least half of those, so I'm very ashamed of myself, and my film professors in college would also be ashamed.
Well, let's stay in movies then.
Good. Great.
Perfect.
Movies starring Jim Carrey. I have 40 of them.
Oh, good gracious.
That's
right. Boy.
Well, Eric, you get to bid first.
My bid, huh? I'll go with 5.
I'll shoot for 6.
7.
Oh. 8.
Name 8.
Okay. I can do this.
All right.
Cable Man.
Okay.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Okay.
Bruce Almighty. Evan Almighty. Are you looking at your list? Are you?
Well, we're going to come back to something, but Evan Almighty is not on here. I don't think he starred in that one.
Oh, okay.
But Bruce Almighty should have been. I don't know if you heard that, Tom.
I did.
Okay.
Okay. Yes Man.
Okay, it's 5.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yes. 6.
The Mask.
Okay. 7. You need one more.
I can do this. Oh, come on, come on. One more Jim Carrey movie. He did a lot of stuff in the 90s. Freaking A.
That is not one of the movies.
Oh. There's got to be something else that I can think of. Has he done any other serious ones other than Eternal Sunshine? That's the stuff I like him in. The one that came to mind is a Will Ferrell movie, not a Jim Carrey movie. I can't name the last one.
Well, actually, you said Cable Man anyway, and I was going to need you to give that the correct name of that movie.
The correct name for the Cable Man?
It's not Cable Man.
I don't.
All right, we're going to pass this off to Eric. Eric, you can't name any of the ones that she did.
So can I name the cable guy?
Yes.
Oh.
The Grinch.
Damn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's 2.
Man in the Moon.
Yes, 3.
Oh, gosh.
And The Truman Show.
I literally just watched that like 2 weeks ago.
And that's like his best movie.
It's so good. I'm very angry.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Oh.
Dumb and Dumberer.
No. And that's it. You're out.
I just thought of another one.
That's 4 points for Eric. So here's the ones that we didn't get. Let's see. A Christmas Carol.
Liar, Liar's on the list, and I forgot that
All
one.
in Good Taste. Anchorman 2. Batman Forever. Copper Mountain. Earth Girls Are Easy. Finders Keepers. Fun with Dick and Jane, which I actually like. High Strung. Horton Hears a Who. I Love You, Philip Morris.
Oh, yeah, that was good, too.
Lemony Snicket's, whatever. Liar, Liar.
Lemony Snicket's is a TV show, not a movie.
No, Jim Carrey was in the movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The TV show's better than the movie, but yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Neil Patrick Harris
is a TV show.
Mr. Popper's Penguins, Once Bitten. Pecan Pie. Peggy Sue Got Married. Pink Cadillac. Simon Birch, The Bad Batch. The Deadpool. The Incredible Wonderstone, which I love. The Itsy Bitsy Spider. The Majestic. That's another serious one. The Mask. The Number 23. That's a horrible movie. True Crimes, and Yes Man. I think you said Yes Man.
I said Yes Man.
All right, all right. Eric's winning, Crystal, so you have the hammer. I'll let you bid first.
Oh, wait, what's the score? I need to know.
The score is 13-5, but you have 1 honesty point in case there's a tie.
Is this the final round? If that's the hammer, you just used a curling term.
No, the hammer's been used a long time. Okay. Family members of the Brady Bunch.
9. I can name all 9 of them.
All right, Eric. No messing up here.
Okay. Marsha, Jan, Cindy, Greg, what is happening to my brain? What are the other 2 boys? I can sing the whole theme song. Does that count?
No. In this game, no.
Oh my gosh. Why are the girls easier to remember? Greg is the oldest. And for the life of me, Eric, just name them. I'm the worst. I'm literally the worst. What happened? I used to be good at this game.
You can only name ones that she did not name.
So Alice.
Yes.
And Carol.
Yes.
And what's the father's name? It's I want to say Brad, but that's not right.
Oh.
Are you saying Brad?
No. Why would I say that? That's wrong.
That feels like a feeling. Judge is going to call it. 2 points for
right,
Eric.
fine.
The ones you missed were Bobby and Mike.
Mike. Yeah.
Did you say Peter?
We didn't say Peter either.
All right.
But yeah, Mike Brady's the dad.
Man. I used to be good at this game. You two have clearly broken me. I saw you both in person and you took away my magic powers and I'm very upset about it.
This is totally that game show thing though. You're watching someone else and you're like, Oh
Right,
yeah,
like,
you should
this
know
is
this
easy.
answer, and then when you're actually in the hot seat.
Right, like if you had asked me to casually write down Best Picture winners, I feel like I would have gotten a lot of them, but nope, not here.
When we're all staring at you, it's different.
Nah.
All right, we're gonna go with a different category now. This is the know-it-all category. So this game came out in 2017, by the way. So the 20 most popular boy names of 2016.
Oh boy. And this is my bid. 20 most popular boy names of 2016.
Crystal, you have the first bid here.
I do? I
just
did first
Crystal?
last time.
Yeah, but she's gonna get first until she catches up. So
Oh, all right.
Okay. Out of 20, I think I could possibly name 6.
I'll go 7.
Why don't I just bid 7?
or you could just let Eric have it and see if he makes a mistake, and then you get the extra.
All right, fine. Eric, take it. That's a better strategy.
Remember, Eric, you have 2 mistakes you can make. Here you go.
Okay.
I should emphasize, this is, again, we're doing the show in English. This is probably American, obviously.
Declan.
That's your first mistake.
Oh, great. Connor.
All right, so it's your turn, Crystal.
All right, well, let's go with some more common ones. How about, let's go with Eric.
Okay, so now I'm going to read you all the correct answers.
Was James on the list? I should have said James.
James was on the list.
It was
It's
Bill.
my nephew's name, and he's 3, so I should have known.
Aiden, Alexander, Benjamin, Caden with a C, Caleb, Carter, Elijah, Ethan, Grayson, Jackson, Jacob, James, Jaden, Liam, Logan, Lucas, Mason, and for some reason people keep calling kids Michael, Noah, and Oliver.
Noah was on the list. Great.
No. Yes.
That makes you feel real good.
That's my own child's name. I should have.
All right. Let's change the category now to girls' names.
Oh,
Crystal, the opening bid is yours.
gosh. I'll bid 5.
6.
Go for it, Eric. Let's
Brittany.
see what happens.
That's 1 mistake, Eric.
Darg.
Brittany was a 90s name, Eric.
I am hip. I am with it. I am not old yet. Ashley.
All right, over to you, Crystal.
Okay. Let's go with Kayla.
Okay, so now I'm going to read these names off. Here
Oh
we
my
go.
gosh.
Adeline, Amelia, Aria, Ava, Aubrey, Charlotte, Chloe, Emily, Emma, Harper, Isabella, Layla, Lily, Madeline, Madison, Mia, Olivia, Riley, Sophia, and Zoe. Can't do this one. That would give it to Eric. All right, this is our last category.
Okay.
Ben and Jerry's top 10 ice cream flavors of 2016.
Okay. I will go with 5.
And these are specific flavors, not necessarily like what are generic ice cream flavors.
Right.
Okay.
I will let you
For
go
example,
with 5.
vanilla is not on the list.
Here, hold on.
Okay.
I got to hide the chat. I got to make sure that I'm legit here.
What, have you not been the rest of the game?
I've literally known nothing for the other categories. So yes, clearly I've been cheating.
That's
Okay.
true. If you're a cheater, you're the worst.
You're really bad.
No, this one I think I have a shot at, but I want to make sure that I'm not looking at the chat. So Cherry Garcia, or
Yes.
okay. Chunky Monkey,
Yes.
the Tonight Dough,
Yes.
the chocolate chip cookie dough one. I don't think has a funny name. I think it's just chocolate chip cookie dough.
That's correct.
Okay. Americone Dream.
That's 5. You can keep
Wow.
going if you would like to.
Okay. It's a matter of whether it's the novelty ones or the regular ones, because I'm not sure of the regular ones which ones are more popular. Oh, there's the one that's the because I'm allergic to nuts, so I can't eat any of the ones with peanut butter in them. But I know I've seen a peanut butter one that's real popular. I'm not sure if I know the name. There's a mint chocolate cookie.
Nope. Okay, you're out. That's 5 points.
Well, that was only one miss, but
yeah, but no,
okay.
The rules are as I've made them. Once you go past your limit, you can only get one wrong. Okay. American Dream, Cherry Garcia, chocolate fudge brownie, chocolate chip cookie dough, chunky monkey, half baked.
Oh, half baked. That's the one.
Fish food with a PH.
Yeah.
Caramel core, strawberry cheesecake, and the Tonight Dough. How do you guys know all these?
The Tonight Dough is actually their most popular flavor. It's the one that like is Jimmy Fallon or whatever. And
yeah. I guess it's because I never eat Ben and Jerry's. I either eat when I go to the store to buy ice cream. I'm like, which one's on sale? That's the one I buy. And Ben and Jerry's is very rarely on sale. And if I'm going to go out for ice cream, that's Baskin Robbins, baby. All right.
Man. I do like my ice cream.
Has 15 points, and Crystal has 5.
What?
Well, no, she got more points in that last round.
Oh, she just did. Sorry, you're right.
What about all those other rounds that I got points when Eric missed things?
No, that's the only time I missed them. 15-10, you definitely lost, but you have 1 honesty point.
I'm gonna have the chat retally the scores after the show and just make sure that you're.
So Eric is going to get this one, which he had picked initially anyway. So yes. If I find another copy, I'll send it to Crystal someday. And if anyone from Pegasus is watching, you can send me one also because I want it. And Crystal one after I get one. All right. That's our game show. Let's take some questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our abilities.
Yeah, they're just all talking about ice cream, actually. So,
I mean,
Hoka Hoka Burning Love.
Eric, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh boy, if I have to choose, I really liked half baked. That's a really good flavor. My wife really liked chocolate fudge brownie, so I was often sent to retrieve those 2 flavors. I'd also get the cinnamon swirl, the one that was like a cinnamon roll.
Yeah,
that one was good too.
They used to Ben and Jerry's. I don't know if they still do, but they had one that was like, I don't remember what the ice cream flavor was, but it had blonde brownie chunks in it, and then like a caramel swirl, and it was so good.
All right, now that you guys are done talking about ice cream, something I'm trying not to eat right now. Thank you. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Let's see here. Are any of the 3 of us coming to any conventions in the Pacific Northwest? I'm not. Not anytime soon, anyway.
I mean, that's technically closer to me proximity-wise, but time, schedule, and money-wise, I don't think so. I've had some interest in going to OrcaCon, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to add that to my schedule because I think that's early in 2019 around the same time as some other stuff. But I would love to, if anyone knows of any cons in the Pacific Northwest.
What about you, Eric?
Pacific Northwest, no, not that unless I forgot one, no.
All righty. Let's see here. What do we think about the giant Cthulhu from CMON?
It's gigantic. I haven't looked at the campaign. That's an add-on, right? That's not like just basic in the box.
Yeah.
Well, there's a separate pledge level for it, but they ran out of that pledge level, and then they added more at a higher price with a later shipping date, and then they did that again and again and again, and so there has been some drama online, a little bit, just a little.
Drama online?
So I saw that people were mad at them for something, but I didn't see what.
Yeah, so they had 100. They had 100 of these miniatures, right? So you paid $120, and you got it halfway through 2019.
Okay.
And then those sold out like in 3 minutes. So then the next one was like in a little bit later than halfway through 2019, and they were like $5 more. And they kept doing that. Then they stopped raising the price, but they kept putting the date back. So now it's like halfway through 2020 if you get them. So it essentially was early bird pledges, and so some people are furious about this because if they do not get a 30-pound miniature, I don't know what you're going to do with this, like throw it at someone or statue in your living room. I don't know. I don't really have any strong opinions one way or the other.
But so they're mad because it was originally presented as there are only 100 of these. And so some people may have backed them knowing that there were only 100, and now there's more like 700.
No. It's not that. I don't think those people are mad. It's the people who are saying, I want this. I don't want to wait to 2020 to get it. And why are some people getting it in 2019?
Because they bid first and they can only make so many at once.
That's kind of the thing, but people are saying you knew this would be popular. You should, anyway, you can go read the comments. It's super fun.
It takes a long time to fill that mold with plastic. That's a lot of plastic, and they have to pour it very slowly or else it's the wrong consistency. It takes a while to make these things.
You should definitely be answering comments on their Kickstarter page.
I would love to have Eric go in there and just be droll the whole time. Well, you know. All right, what's your favorite Star Trek series?
I mean, this question's probably directed a lot at me, but
we can't answer it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you know what? I would like to hear your all's answers first, and then I'll tell you what the right answer is. Limited
Christmas special. No, it's a hard call for me because I would have easily said, because I grew up on it, Star Trek Next Generation. I've started watching these through with my kids a little bit, and the special effects are so bad, I'm having a hard time going through it. I mean, they're really haven't aged well, the special effects. But I like that crew the best. I don't like Picard, but I like his crew a lot.
So wait, you're watching Next Generation again, but you don't have the remastered versions that they released? Because they released all of Next Generation on Blu-ray like 5 to 7 years ago.
Well, first of all, I don't know what Blu-ray is. I stream everything.
Okay, well, the streaming versions of Next Generation should also theoretically be the new, like they updated everything.
It's still not that good, and it still is a little slower than we're kind of used to today. You know, it's kind of like, look at this guy. He's morphing. Oh, off screen, of course. It's very dramatic. It's very Shakespearean. It's probably my favorite. I like the ending of Deep Space Nine, the last season, a lot. I think the original one is super corny. Yeah. Next Generation for me.
I think firmly I have to go with Next Gen as well. That's the one I grew up with. Discovery is getting there though. Maybe Deep Space Nine has to still edge it out. I still need to see where Discovery goes because it's only one season in.
My favorite characters are Data and Worf by like a mile though, and so I really like those two characters a lot. So I know Worf transferred over to the other one, but Data was just such a fun character.
Well, and I loved Worf in Next Gen, but Worf in DS9 for me was an even better version of him because of his relationship with Jadzia. So the fact that you got to see that interaction between the two of them was really interesting. And DS9 is hands down my favorite complete series. And I grew up on Next Gen. I loved Next Gen. I love Picard. I love a lot of those characters. But I think DS9 is a more interesting and compelling story. I like the serialized nature of it, but Discovery is on trajectory to take over. Discovery feels more like my Star Trek than any other series ever has. Sylvia Tilly is basically me if I were in Star Trek. So it's really fun to watch her because I'm just like, that would be me if I was in Star Trek.
This isn't making sense. I haven't watched it, but from what I heard, it's a very dark series, and you're not dark.
Yeah, Tilly is the point of light in the dark series. She's incredibly enthusiastic. You're right, Crystal. Before I had seen any of it, you mentioned that there was a character, and I, sort of in one ear out the other, that one of them you really identified with. And so when I started watching the show, I was like, all right, Crystal's really identified with one of these characters. Oh, it's Tilly. Like immediately I knew exactly who you were talking about because yes,
she doesn't know how to shut up sometimes, and she's very positive and enthusiastic about just about everything, and I love her to death. But Discovery, honestly, it's more diverse, it's more compelling in a lot of ways, and it's more modern. It feels like a modern TV show, but also in the Star Trek universe. And so I'm really enjoying it. There's been some drama behind the scenes. The showrunners have switched over a couple of times. So I'm cautiously optimistic for season 2, which will come out in likely early 2019, but they haven't even settled on that for sure yet. I just know it's coming and I want to see it. So
this is Netters wants to know if you've ever been to a Star Trek con.
Oh yeah. In fact, that's why I'm missing Gen Con.
Because
okay, for the record, I would have been paying my entire own way to Gen Con back when I hadn't fully joined the Dice Tower yet. And between going to a local convention here in Las Vegas and not having to pay for a hotel room, or traveling halfway across the country and having to deal with all the hotel and badge nonsense for Gen Con, it was an easy choice for me. So I'm doing the Star Trek convention this year. I've been to it multiple times in the past. But maybe next year, Tom will convince me to go to Gen Con for my very first time.
No.
Who's your favorite speaker at a Star Trek convention?
Who's my favorite what?
Speaker at a Star Trek convention.
Ooh, that's a good one. It's actually kind of sad, but I would say Leonard Nimoy. Even though the original series isn't one of my favorites, Leonard Nimoy was very well-spoken and very kind. Even when William Shatner was next to him on stage being a bit of a jerk, he was always very poised and wonderful. The next gen cast, when you get all of them together, though, is a lot of fun because they were kind of like a family and have been for the past 30 years. So seeing all of them together on stage is always a good time as well. But I really want to meet Mary Wiseman. She hasn't booked for the con this year, the woman who plays Sylvia Tilly. And if she shows up, I'm going to be so happy.
Yeah, I just read a part of a book when I was at a thrift store and I was bored. So I read part of I Am Spock, I think, which was like a sequel to his book, I Am Not
Spock.
So he was annoyed that he was being identified as Spock, but then came to grips with that, or came to be at peace with it, and wrote the second book. I thought that was an interesting thing.
Yeah, interesting development.
Did you read his books?
I have not actually read his books. I did see the documentary, though, that his son made, and that was really good.
If you could help me out, Eric, I haven't read those books, so if you could read them,
okay,
and then record it and send it.
I will put it on my schedule, but I'm a little busy right now.
All righty, folks. Well, that is the end of our Dice Tower tonight. This one went fast. Maybe I'll have to cut the opening the game box show sometimes. I don't know.
Well, sometimes we do an hour and a half too. I don't know if you noticed that, but occasionally we do 90 minutes instead of 60.
Yeah,
we've sort of expanded the show a little bit.
You know what it is yes, normally I might go 90 minutes, and don't start screaming for that, people. But I'm still in some post Dice Tower Con. It was a great restful con for many people, but it was very tiring for me. And I have spent the last 3 days planning for Gen Con. Gen Con is exhausting planning for.
Yes, and we still need to talk about more at some point.
So keep an eye out. We'll be talking some more about Dice Tower Con in the Dice Tower audio podcast, which will go up next Tuesday. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Did we skip a week this time or no? No, we didn't.
No, we did not.
No, we're sort of back on track, and we should be able to stay on track because Gen Con will be one of our off weeks. So we should be okay for a little while.
In fact, we'll do a little bit of talking about Gen Con and some of the things that we'll talk about Crystal, all the things she'll miss. And
yeah, that'll be
talk
fun.
About games that you would be interested in seeing more of, Crystal, maybe. So have a couple games that you would like to see at Gen Con next time.
I will be sending you all to the Gale Force 9 booth to hopefully snipe some copies of the expansions for a Star Trek Ascendancy for me.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Gale Force 9 have a booth at the Star Trek convention?
I don't think so.
I
don't know. Oh, gosh. Tom's gone robot-y. I don't know what just happened, but I couldn't hear you, Tom.
No, I said that they launched Star Trek Ascendancy at the Star Trek Con.
They did bring it the very first year it came out, but I don't think they're typically there. It's hard to tell. The vendor hall is very large, so I will look for them, but.
Alrighty, some people have asked about different things that, real quick, someone asked, is there a live play of the Looping Louie match, which I can't remember who won or lost, but all that stuff has been recorded, and we're posting like a video a day, so you'll see various things go up over the next couple weeks from Dice Tower Con. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Crystal Pisano.
And I'm Eric Summerer.
And you've been watching Dice Tower Tonight.
Thanks for watching. Promotional consideration has been provided by game publishers in the form of review copies of games. We'll be back in 2 weeks for another installment of Dice Tower Tonight. Our show is sponsored by viewers like you. Thank you. Dice Tower Tonight is produced by Tom, Crystal, and me with assistance from Derek Porter and Rob Siri. Getting grounded by your own child for breaking their favorite tea set provided by Big Trouble from Little China. Timothy Pinkham composed our theme, and hosting is provided by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games at great prices at CoolStuffInc.com. Give us your feedback on the Dice Tower Guild at Board Game Geek on Facebook or Twitter, or by emailing us at dicetower@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit the other shows in the Dice Tower Network. Find something new at dicetowernetwork.com. Until next time, from all of us at the Dice Tower, have fun gaming.
You know, what if we could get some of the Star Trek people accidentally rerouted to Gen Con?
I will come, 100%.
Like Patrick Stewart shows up, he's like, "What's going on?" And he plays a game and very authoritative. I would like to play Legacy of Dragonholt with Patrick Stewart.
I'll play literally any board game.
Well, there was one year that Nichelle Nichols was there.
That's
and
true.
Will Wheaton shows up at Gen Con.
Yeah, they were signing copies of that not super great dice game, the 5-year mission one. They were there signing copies of that. But
yeah, we got her to say shut the door, I think.
I don't know. You bring more Star Trek people and I'll come to Gen Con, Tom.